Welcome to Ogimart Gaming. I'm doing a special challenge from the Facebook group of Farming Simulator Challenges. This is Munkey's No Mod Challenge. We have to start off on one of the two base maps. You can see here I'm choosing on Fellsbrunn. And we start with the starting amount of money and the starting loan on Farm Manager. And we have a bunch of goals and restrictions. Let me show you. I've already set some of this up. And I've tried multiple different strategies on this, and I think this is the one I'm going to go with. You can see here that I have purchased two fields, one of which I've put the base house on. The restriction on the challenge is you cannot buy field 20 or any of the base starting out locations on these base maps. I chose 18 and 30 primarily because there are no trees. You know, the tree equipment with the base game it's pretty rough. So I'll probably be avoiding anything to do with trees, at least at first. And you can see at the house, I've placed that kind of close to the road, but the driveway is right there. And it's very difficult to make driveways because of the landscaping tool cannot come up close to the road in the base game. So that's kind of a frustration. But I have this area here I can grow out into. You can see over here, I've already placed a repair station, a workshop, and something to clean my vehicles with. So I did say we start with $1 million and we have a loan for $250,000. You can see that I've already spent $1 million, which is one of the requirements. You know, you have to spend the first $1 million. And that's to ensure that you have a starting farm. You're not just like starting with a tractor or just a chainsaw and trying to build up from there. I do have some money left over, and that's going to be up to you as to how I spend that. I have three choices for you. So let's get into what are those choices and what have I already set up. If I pop over to the store, let me jump right over here to the store. You can see there's a whole mess load of equipment over here. So let me quickly review what I have. I have obviously two headers for harvesting. I have a seeder and a planter behind that. I have over here a subsoiler. And you can see over there I have a plow. I have both of those. I like the subsoiler, and I'll have a worker using the plow. I've got the K105 for spreading lime and fertilizer. And I've got a nice seeder here. You can see here I'm going to be picking up grass and hay and straw loosely. I'm not going to bale. Again, the baling equipment is semi-painful in the base game. I got myself a nice trailer. I'm not going to deal with 1,500 trips on one single small trailer like this guy, but I needed this one to move supplies around like lime, fertilizer, seeds, all of that stuff. And I also could do transportation missions if I wish. I've got a mower to go with that grass collection unit I have back there. And these three units here are what I chose to use my 3 leasing spots that you're allowed in this challenge. Anything you lease, you have to buy. So you can't just lease it and dump it. I decided that, well, these are the 3 probably biggest expenses I'm going to have. So I've got myself a little utility tractor and something a little beefier and my harvester. And I'm hoping that those are the items that can help carry me through the beginning part of the game at least until I decide what I really want to do on this map. And back here you can see I just have a whole bunch of supplies to get me started. This will by no means be enough to carry me through the whole game, but I will be making money at the same time. Up at this grass field that I purchased, number 30, you'll see I've already installed the silage bunker. So I can cut this grass up here and immediately put it in a bunker. I'm debating whether I sell that silage right out or if maybe I just throw some cows in here as soon as possible. That is one of the other requirements. I have to have a large cow shed or pig shed going by the end of this game. I also have to have $5 million, which is going to be difficult to get. I'm going to have to purchase 2 more fields in addition to my starting 2. I chose 18 and 30. So I'll have to buy 2 more. And again, I'm trying to stay away from trees. So I might choose something like, 26, where, yeah, there's some trees, but they're up on the hills. I'm not going to have to deal with them. And a lot of it's just an extra challenge I'm throwing on myself. Where can I buy that I don't have to deal with trees? Number 8 over here is nice. But again, we're talking some money. So we need to get building some money up. The settings on the game, and some of these are required, some of these are by choice. I have it on real time right now while I'm getting set up, but you can set it to a maximum of 5x, which I will be doing once I start moving things around. The difficulty is on normal based on the settings. These others are optional all the way through here. Plant growth is on normal on the challenge. Weeds are off. Crop destruction's off. Lime you have to have. Plowing you have to have. You are allowed to create fields, so I may be using some of that. What else do we have? We're not allowed to take any other loans out. We have the 250,000 and that's it. We are allowed to do contracting and we can borrow equipment on those contracts. Thank God. As I mentioned, we can lease things, but we have to buy them. And other than that, it's really just a matter of designing with the base game and trying to limit yourself from all those nice juicy mods we have out there. So what I'm going to do here, I may put a minor cut or speed it up a little bit. But I'm going to start moving some of the equipment around. And what I need from you guys is I have some options here as far as how I'm going to spend that extra money that I have left over. I have about 200,000 left. One idea, which is the one I was leaning on originally, is to pay that $200,000 into the debt that I have, the loan I have taken out for 250,000. I like that idea because it doesn't get me any interest, or less interest rather. But the reality is, how much am I really paying per interest per day? Is it really that big a deal? Maybe I'd be better off buying my small tractor I have outright. So I only have 2 leased items. Again, that's a sort of way of debt mitigation. And that kind of gives me a jump start. So now I own almost everything on the farm. I would just have to be paying off the big tractor and the harvester that I'm driving here. I'm going to drive this back here. I think this field back here is ready to harvest. I'll double check that. But if so, I want to get a worker working on that while I'm moving stuff around. So the third option, and this is the one I'm seriously considering, but I'd love to hear people's feedback, is I could spend the 200,000 on getting another field. I have to buy 2 more anyway. So it's not like it's wasted effort. I'm going to have to do it. And that extra field may give me more opportunity to make early money. But again, I'm on the fence on this, and I could use some help with this. Field 31, that is this one, right? It is. And let's verify that it is. Yep, we're good to go. So let's get a worker up here and put him to work. All right, I'll jump right out of there and let that worker do their job. I'd like to keep as much of this stuff where it belongs as far as work before we get a tool shed, because the reality is a lot of this stuff's going to be in action right from the get-go. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of messing around here because we start with so little. Now, what I'm debating doing is speeding this up. I really wish we had the rights to use the Benny Hill theme, because watching me try to load all these seed pellets and lime and fertilizer onto the cart, that could be humorous at like 16 speed. So we might try that out and see what that looks like. But here we have the lawn cutting equipment all ready to go. And I'm going to bring that over to the silage pit that I have set up, just so that's ready to go. And I'm going to jump the curb here. And I'll just park this right over in this general vicinity. I will be putting some sheds in here. I may just have my farm grow up this hill. You know, this could be the working part of the farm where all my machinery and stuff and the cows, and I'm probably going to go cows instead of pigs unless people can convince me otherwise. If you're a strong fan of pigs, please let me know why, because I really haven't done a whole lot of livestock other than chickens. Hey, I'm lazy. You know, chickens, you just throw a little wheat. You don't even have to water them, which I don't understand. And, you know, once a month or so, you go pick up some eggs. It's more just the idea of, hey, I have animals. Yay. Interestingly, in real life, I do have a few chickens. And unfortunately, we got more roosters than we really want. So we will be culling some roosters today, which is always something I detest having to do. So I got a friend coming over who gets all into that. And if you're one of those people who gets all into the slaughter of animals, well, that's special because I know I do not have that gene at all. I will raise them, I will feed them, I will clean up after them, I will do all kinds of stuff. But the actual slaughter, I'll have some other people do that like to do that. You'll notice that this tractor is bobbing all over the place. That's why I bought the weight for this one. So after I get this thing loaded, I'm going to throw a weight on here. I am playing on PC, and I have a mechanical keyboard. So if you hear a whole bunch of clacking around, that's because of my keyboard, and it is very close to my microphone. So if that becomes annoying, please let me know. I do have a set of joysticks I just got in the mail like yesterday. But I've been kind of leery about how do I set those up space-wise. There's only so much room on a computer desk, so I've got to jury rig it. I wonder if people have pictures of how they have their wheel and joystick set up, because I do have a wheel as well, but again, space on the desk is just something that I haven't really got figured out on this workstation I'm at right now. Now, in a lot of these Let's Plays, I've seen people do a lot of storyline and stuff. This one probably will not have any storyline in it. I do have a series that I'm going to start up on No Man's Land, where I've started in a little bit of a different location than most people start. On No Man's Land, everybody always starts over by the lake. I've picked a different piece of property to start in, and I have a whole storyline done up for that one. So I'll probably keep my storyline energies on that. I also have a map, Yukon, a map of Yukon going by Honor Realism. That one is an incredible map, but it's also incredibly large. So that one I'm doing kind of a homesteader back to the woods survival type series on that. And I'll get some videos on that posted. Now, see, this is a problem. There's some physics involved here that that's not good. See, this is where we probably will put a cut here and just show you what this looks like when it's all done, because this is painful. It's all a matter of getting the forks in at the right angle first. And if you don't get them in at the right height and angle, well, bad things happen. All right, so let me move this out of there. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Alrighty, let me share with you what I got done. I moved, as you can see, a little bit of the equipment over here near the house. And I've got most of the stuff lined up over here off the grass, so I can mow this up. And I have some stuff down at the shop, so we'll jump right down there. Down by the shop, you can see my silage bunker, harvester, and all the grass equipment is down here, as well as a plow. And you can see we got busy on the neighbor's field. We were hired to collect a little bit of wheat. It pains me so much that I don't have my pickup straw at Harvest Mod. Oh, the pain. Letting all that money just sit there on the field, go to waste. But we do have this this delivery we can make. And let me back up the interface here. We don't need that on. So I've got a question for everyone. I have two questions. First of all, we got the issue with the money. I've got $200,000, and I think I've shared already the three options are pay off the loan, $200,000 worth, or buy the small tractor I have outright just so I own it, and that's one less thing I'm getting charged for in the lease. That would also still leave me with a little bit of extra money, maybe $50,000, just in case things come up or I want to buy another item that maybe you guys suggest. Or the third option is to buy another field. You know, like, hey, that neighbor's field right next to me that just got harvested should be nice and cheap, and it's awful local to everything else I've got going on over in that area. So getting a another piece of property, that sounds enticing, but that is a huge chunk of money and doesn't help me with the massive amounts of debt I feel like I'm under. So that's question one, what to do with the money. The second question is about the recording. In the time it took for me to do this recording, edit, and mess things up like 9 times with how I wanted to start this series off, I got a chance to watch probably 12 hours worth of other people doing these challenges and recordings. And I got to see a lot of different styles. I'm curious, what do you prefer? Do you prefer someone talking to introduce and then doing a time lapse? You know, because a lot of the standard base game equipment can be pretty boring to sit there and watch. Would you rather listen to somebody jabber the whole time as they're running through the base game, plow through, if you will? Or would you be willing to maybe have cuts where somebody comes back, kind of like I just did here, where I'm like, okay, well, off camera I got all these things done and here's where I'm at right now. What's your preference? When you're watching these things, would you rather shorter videos that have, all right, we're cutting down to reviews or updates, or would you rather see the whole action, see how other people play the game? I mean, I still enjoy watching other people play the game because I get to learn from their mistakes and their goofs, because we all have them. And it's really interesting to see what other people do. You was catching on how much this wheat's going to go for. All right, it's finished, and I got good $3,000 off of that. And I can complete the job for another $2,600. So I'm going to round that off to say that was $6,000 in the pocket, ready to go, and we got ourselves $211,000. You know, that was kind of nice. I think I'm going to start that pattern of let's have the workers. Oh, I have a backup issue here. Let me back this up and try it again. I thought this thing had a better turning radius than it does. Again, I get spoiled by some mods. So I guess I might try that where I have a worker doing some of the grunt work on some jobs while I work on tending the lands that we purchase, and then hire workers as I need to on our lands. But always try to have someone out in the field doing some of the grunt work, if you will. I kind of like the harvest jobs because they are they pay pretty well, and you don't need a big outlay of money. I do know that fertilizing jobs tend to be the most efficient money makers, but I don't really like having the computer do a lot of the fertilizing. I like to do those. Those are nice quick jobs. If I want to personally make money, I'm going to be doing some fertilizing jobs. But I think having a computer do some of the plowing jobs or cultivating, as well as some of the harvesting jobs, I think that's kind of a good idea to keep that always in mind and always in motion. So I look forward to hearing what people have to say. Please leave any comments if you should like this series or how it's starting, or just even the concept or idea. It's always nice to get a few likes to get a series going. This is my first time making a video and posting it, so please be gentle. If you have advice, please make it constructive, and I will do my best to heed all that advice. And if there's something you'd like to see me try to tackle, maybe that you haven't seen other people try to do, I'd love to hear from you as well. Thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, where we pick this up and start doing some grass in the field and working on this field up in front of us, thank you guys, and have a great day.